Hello and welcome. I'm Jason and this is my first M15 Draft video. Now we're just waiting for people to join the queue and hopefully we will be able to get on the way soon and open some good cards, but we'll see what it has in store for us. So I will bring you back in just a moment. Okay, so here we are with pack 1. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so we open up a Court of Calling as our rare. Not the best in Limited, but I've seen people able to make it work. Battle Mastery, okay, but doesn't give any immediate bonuses other than the Double Strike. No +1/+1 or anything like that. Paragon is nice. That gives all our blue creatures +1/+1, but blue is weaker in the format, so I don't know if I would start off with that. Also, Seraph of the Masses, which again, it works really well in certain types of decks. Green-White Convoke for one, but I'm not sure if that's what we want to start off with. Looking through the rest of the pack, it looks like there's some good red cards with Borderland Marauder, Generator Servant, Oresco Swiftclaw is not bad, although I don't know if it's a pick one for me, and Living Totem. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Court of Calling here, see if I can possibly make it work. There's nothing else that's really making me want to stray away from just taking the rare right now, though. Okay, so pack 2, we have a Life's Legacy, another card that doesn't really work very well at least in Limited. Takes certain placement. It's weird that it's a sorcery. If it was an instant, or if it added some other benefit other than just drawing cards, it might be more playable. But right now, it's not very well placed. I do like the Midnight Guard. It has a lot of value. Cursed Spirit just kind of does work. Intimidate is pretty strong in the format, although it does. There's a lot of artifacts to block it. And Frostlinks, although I don't know if I could really do anything strong with Frostlinks right now. I don't really want to go into blue right now. I think I might take the Roaring Primadox in green, though. I've done some cool things with bouncing living totems, bouncing some other creatures. So I think I'm going to go with that. Alright, third pick, Siege Worm. Yeah, I just have to. I'm going to go for that. Looks like we're definitely going into green unless it starts getting cut, but I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it's a 5/5 Trampler for 7, but with that Convoke, you can usually get it out real early. I've got it out turn 3 with some regularity, so and getting that out early and just being able to start beating down is really valuable. So we'll see what we can do with it. Okay, next pack. Not a lot in here for green. I mean, if we stay mono green, this can be a pretty good blowout at times. But straying into white, we have a Sanctified Charge and a Raise the Alarm, which are both really powerful cards in the format. Now, here I think I might go ahead and take the Raise the Alarm, just because it helps convoke out our Siege Worm, and I think it will cut white a decent bit. I mean, if we're not passing along both of these. Now, someone is probably going to pick up this Raise the Alarm, someone down this way, and we will, we might be fighting over white a little bit if we try and stay into that, but hopefully we can get some good ones passed to us with that. I mean, I think it's a pretty good sign that it made it to 4th pick. Usually the token generators get snapped up pretty quickly. Okay, so it looks like someone's taking a little bit to make their pick, but that's okay. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. I'd like to get some cards that I can really exploit with this Roaring Primadox. I mean, it's a little bit awkward that you have to keep paying mana every turn to be playing, but you're constantly playing something. You're constantly getting something out. Okay, so next pack. Decent black removal with Ulcerate. It's good in really aggressive decks, but the loss of 3 life can be pretty tough if you're not in the right deck. Not a huge fan of the Carnivorous Moss Beast. It's just, it's a little bit clunky. Like, paying 7 mana to put counters on it is, put a single +1/+1 counter on it. I mean, yes, it comes out as a 4/5, so it blocks like Charging Rhino. It blocks a good amount of stuff, and it's hard to remove, but it's not something I really want to top my curve with. Otherwise, I might just take the Yamamaya Coast for a potential splash if blue seems open, because nothing else is really doing it for me. Let's see, from here, well, Nimbus, I mean, that's not bad. I don't really like green-blue that much, but it's a possibility. I could also take, I don't really like Divine Favor. This pack's not that great. Maybe Naturalize just for the sideboard. I'm going to take Nimbus just in case. I like that. It's a decent card. I mean, a 3/3 for 5 is not usually the best, but when it's flying, and in the format, there's so much stuff that just does not really work. There's a lot of stuff that just kind of will not be able to attack into this. Let's see. In this pack, Undergrowth Scavenger is pretty good, but it requires a lot of support. You need a lot of the right cards. Verdant Haven is a little bit slow. I mean, it helps with some fixing. I don't know if we're necessarily going to need that. I can hedge my bets. Take the Research Assistant, I think. He's pretty good. He's a 1/3 blocker. Sliver's okay, but 1/1, like, it denies some removal, but honestly, a lot of the removal is not going to get wasted on the 1/1 Sliver anyways. This pack, I really like Amphin Pathmage, especially if we're going to have some big beaters. Hopefully I can get some blue stuff back that I'm going to be able to really rock with this Roaring Primadox. Not a huge fan of the blue-green, but I did go 3-0 the last time I drafted it. I mean, it definitely helped that I picked up... Oh, here we go. Living Totem. That's exactly what we want for that Roaring Primadox. That's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that. There we go. Frostlings. Even better. Okay, so I'll be able to lock some stuff down with that. But the last time I played blue-green, I managed to pick up the Green Planeswalker. Blanking on the name now. The World Awaker. And that was she definitely did some work. I picked up a couple of indestructible lands, and once you have those 4/4 indestructible tramplers, the game ends pretty quickly. And honestly, it was a very strong blue base with a splash of green, just because I picked that up pack 3 and hastily put something together, because I had been pretty solidly blue up until that point, because I was the only one drafting it seems. Peel from Morality, that'll definitely do some work with some of the cards that we have, and it's a good thing for saving something you want to keep around. So it looks like we might be going pretty firmly in the green-blue, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't have a huge problem with either. Let's see if we can get some good cards. Hopefully, I want to see some Elvish Mystics. I want to... Hunter's Ambush. Do we have any enchantments? We don't really have any enchantments, and I don't think we're going to have very many enchantments. I mean, if I could get awkward with Encrust. Yeah, sure. Let's take... just kind of picking up some random stuff now. I decided to not go for wiping out all enchantments, just because it can get kind of awkward, because blue's removal does have like Encrust that it does rely on pretty heavily at times, and I don't want to get into a situation where I'm stuck having to choose between undoing some removal or not wiping out some enchantment that I need to. Not much in green. I mean, Venom Sliver's okay, but it's not fantastic. I think I'm just going to pick up a draw spell here. Now the question is, do I want to go for a Divination, which helps with early games, getting those land drops, or do I want to go for a Jace's Ingenuity, which is going to add fuel to the fire in the later game? I mean, it's instant, so I can do it at the end of turn, which I really like, and it can be kind of one of those one of those cards that helps you put the pressure on when you're ahead. It can also help you find answers when you really need it. It does get awkward because you have to leave open 5 mana if you want to do it on their turn. But sometimes you just have nothing in your hand except for this, leave it open, and you can suddenly draw into all your answers. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take that instead of the divination. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, this pack, we have 2 of our removal options right here. We have a Hunt the Weak, which I do like when you have a good number of creatures. It can be kind of sketchy because there's lots of bounce, there's lots of titanic growth and other things that can kind of turn the tables on you, and as well as like death touch and that sort of thing, which can cause problems. So it's one of the more sketchy forms of removal. I like Encrust because it also hits artifacts, and that's one thing that people don't remember, and there's like some really annoying ones in this format. So we might just go ahead and do that. We could take another Nimbus. I mean, I really said that this Heat Rays here, but I think red is just super drafted. Someone's going to be really happy with that. But I think I'm going to just go ahead and get this Encrust. I think it's going to do a little bit more work for us. Here, happy to see a Welkin turn. It's a pretty good card. Titanic Growth is okay as a combat trick. Restock is good for certain decks. I don't know if our deck is one that really needs it. It's really awesome for the dredge decks, the black-green dredge, where you are throwing a lot of stuff in the graveyard, and sometimes if you have like Satyr Wayfinders, you don't know if you're going to be putting all your removal spells in the graveyard. You want to have these to get that stuff back. And this Expedition is okay for getting extra cards out for fixing and that kind of stuff. I really don't think we're going to need that, and it's kind of a late play. So it's really between either the another Encrust, or a Welkin turn. I think I'm going to get the early threats going, because I want to be beating a little bit. And we only have 8 creatures right now. Okay, so this pack, not a lot for us, unfortunately. Carnivorous Small Species, I already said that. I'm not really a huge fan of it. Undergrowth Scavenger, we don't really have the cards to support it. I think I'm just going to remove this Sanctified Charge, get it out of the playing field so that we have one less that we need to worry about. I'm probably not going to go back into white. And we have the Raise the Alarm, unless pack 3 is just solid white for us, which I highly doubt. Yeah, I'll take an Invasive Species. I mean, that's a really late Kurd Chieftain, and honestly, that's tempting to just splash the red. He's actually a pretty easy splash. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And if we pick up like a Lightning Bolt or something else worth the splash, that'll make me really happy. And look, got another Invasive Species. So it all works out. I mean, I would like Willforged Golem as well. He's a nice blocker with a lot of Intimidate in the format. But we already have a Kurd Chieftain for the Krenko's Enforcer. Hopefully we can get another artifact later on. I think I'm just going to pick up this Invasive Species because we have Frostlings, we have Living Totem that we can be bouncing. So, and hopefully we can pick up a few more things like that. Okay, so Void Snare, tempo play. It can help push things through if someone locks you down a little bit, or has board advantage. It's good for pushing something back in their hand, especially in a format where they have the generator servants. It's really awesome. It's an awesome feeling when they push through. They sack a generator servant and push out something big, and then your next turn you just bounce it right to the back of their hand. So it's between this or Military Intelligence. I've done really good things with this. But I think I'm going to just take the Void Snare for now. And I mean, it pays off. Oh, well, Military Intelligence, Netcaster Spider. The Spider, I think, is just too good to pass up. He is a really good blocker. 2/3 is really well positioned against those aggro decks. And turning into a 4-power blocker when it blocks something with flying is just awesome. So, yeah, I can't pass that up. I mean, Military Intelligence is nice. It's a low pick for a lot of people, so I might get one later. But Netcaster usually doesn't go that far. I'm actually kind of surprised that went as far as it did. Blast Firebolt, not really worth dipping further into red. I'll just take a Divination, kind of to keep ahead. And another Nimbus. All right. Well, it looks like blue is fairly open. Green feels a little bit drafted. I'm probably competing with one or two others for it. Another Encrust. Wow. We got that back. I'm pretty happy about that. 2 removal. I mean, it's not the best removal in the format by any means, but it does lock things down, and then those things are gone for the rest of the game, and that's nice. It's nice to just kind of have something. Sometimes it's nice to have something on the board, but not able to do anything. 5/5 Trample. Chronostar is just, I don't know. I haven't really played it much. It just is. It doesn't excite me at all. I don't know. It seems awkward to play. Putting it 2 down in their deck is pretty nice, I guess. And then you know what they're going to be drawing the turn after next, but it's too expensive and just not the best. I guess, if you're playing against like a soul that you don't want to put it in the graveyard, you don't want to leave it around because they can keep activating abilities, then that might be a way to do it. Although Encrust does it too. I'll take a 1-of Statute. I'm okay with that. Not my favorite. I mean, if this is the only card in your hand, it can kind of suck. You can just kind of throw away a nice card that you would have drawn otherwise. But at the same time, it can help you. Like if you keep cards in hand, it can help you throw things away that you don't necessarily need. All that extra mana and stuff. Meh. Throw it in the sideboard. Haven't played much Lava Axe. I mean, there's a couple times in like red-white decks and you need a finisher, throw it in, but like, or red-blue as well. But often there are other cards that I would rather be playing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, it looks like the red splash is definitely going to be it's going to be worth it, but Burning Anger is a really good card. I really enjoy it. It does some good things. I don't know if it's the best in our deck, just because we have some things, but we don't have anything that's really able to exploit it. I mean, in red-white, you can put it on Midnight Guard and just kind of keep on untapping and stuff like that, and tapping it again. He does nasty work. In this pack, I'd also love this Reclamation Sage. I'm not going to be getting it back if I take this Burning Anger, but I can't pass that up. Reclamation Sage is just valuable. Wall of Mulch, it's nice to be able to sack it if it would be dying otherwise and get something else. Another Research Assistant's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're already splashing for red. I don't have a problem splashing a little bit further. Okay, so in this pack, I don't really want to take another div. I might take a Shaman of the Spring or Runeclaw Bear. Looks like we're pretty light on our early drops, so I'm going to go ahead and take a bear. I mean, it's not the best second pick, but I don't know. I haven't really done great things with the Capsho Kite Fins. It seems either too expensive or just it doesn't work very well all the times I've tried it. Like, it just taps them down and it's on your turn, so it's good for pushing through damage, but it's not really control. And a lot of people have, I've heard people tell me that it is, a control card, but it's really not, like, because it's something you're doing on your turn. You're tapping them down so you can push through damage. It helps you accelerate, but it does not lock their stuff down on their turn or anything like that. I mean, so yeah, we're just gonna be taking the bear. I'm okay with that. Murk Lurker and a Nightfire Giant. Those are some of the 2 best semi-gold cards in the set. They're just fantastic cards. This guy blocks for days, gives lifelink. That's just value. This guy, he is he's hard to compete with. Like he's hard to go up against because he can be knocking little things down, and he's a usually a 5/4, but I'm going to have to take the Frostlings here, just because it fits better in our deck. But I'm sad about that, and I do not want to go up against that later. That's going to suck. Elvish Mystic. Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think we need another Peel from Reality. We have one. I'm okay with that, but I'll take it. I'll take a Mystic. All right, Feral Incarnation. Now the Paragon wouldn't be terrible, but this card is really good. It's a great late game finisher type of card. Sometimes you can just overwhelm your opponent with too many things to deal with. It's a little bit expensive, but if you have enough stuff to push out, it's pretty good. I don't know if I actually have the base to really support it, though. Any creatures? Blue creatures. Welkin Turn. 2 Frostlinks. Amphin Pathmage. And a couple Nimbus. We also have a Hunt the Week. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know if I made the right choice there, but I like this card, and I'll keep it. Another Frostlinks. Or I could go for the Welkin Turn. I have 2 Frostlinks already. I think I'm just going to go for another Welkin Turn. These guys die pretty easily. These guys are, having an evasive person is nice. I mean, I do have lots of bouncing things, though. Like, I have Roaring Primadox, Peel from Reality. I have Invasive Species. I don't think I need the Hunter's Ambush. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Frostlings. So that we can play a little bit more control-y. Don't need to beat down too hard. Ooh, okay, so this is an interesting choice. Charging Rhino is a really nice card. I love this card. I mean, making it so that it can only be blocked by 1 creature is really useful, but we do need more removal. And making things bigger is not bad. I mean, it's not great with needing to bounce things with Roaring Primadox and stuff like that, but we really are kind of removal light. We have 2 Encrusts, and that is it. Well, we have, Burning Anger, I guess you can call that removal. But we're also creature. We're 17 creatures. That's not bad. I mean, we're going to be cutting some stuff, but yeah, I'll go ahead and take Hunt the Week. All right, and Military Intelligence. Ding ding. We're gonna have opportunities to attack in. I know that we will. With multiple creatures, that's just gonna happen. So yeah, I'll take that. We're gonna definitely need to make some cuts here, and I might take out the red. I really like. We have powerful red cards. Let's see. Wall of Mulch. Extra card draw. Hexproof. Yeah, at this point, it probably doesn't matter. I'm probably going to be dropping both, or Wall of Mulch anyways. Sure. Don't really need another div. I'll take a Shaman of the Spring. I mean, they're doing similar jobs. Although this gives us a body to convoke with, gives us a body to do other things, to block, whatever. It's a 2/2, which is not terrible. Yeah. Meh. Not super stoked about any of these. Don't have a problem getting rid of them. So we are going to need to make lots of cuts. Lots and lots of cuts. Okay. Well, we're going to have red, so Glacial Crasher suddenly becomes a little bit more valuable, although we're not guaranteed. I didn't pick up Evolving Wilds at all. I don't remember seeing any. I probably did. I probably just missed them. But at the time, I didn't think I'd be splashing like this. And it's going to be a little bit awkward. I probably could have picked up a Verdant Haven somewhere, now that I think about it. Just, getting that extra would have been nice. And I don't really know if we're very well placed in order to really use these very well. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to get this guy out, but having it just stuck in your hand stinks. It is just awful. Let's go through. I don't want Mind Sculpt at all. Let's see what else can just immediately get cut out. Wall, don't really need. I think I might just go ahead and pull out. Let's see what we look like with the red out. 28 cards, so we need to make 5 cuts, which is going to be difficult. I might take out more blue just because I want to keep it kind of even, because it's nice to be able to hit your drops fairly evenly. Let's see. Might take out a single encrust because we do have, well, yeah, I'll bring that in from sideboard if we really need removal. I might take out a single Frostlings because we already have 2. Again, I can bring another one if we need to lock down. I'll take out a Div because we already have 1. We also have Jace's Ingenuity. We have Military Intelligence. Card draw is not going to be a problem, especially with Shaman of the Spring as well. In fact, I might just take out Military Intelligence. I think I'm going to be going with more solo beaters. Although, we'll see. I might swap out for like Jace's Ingenuity because they're going to be playing similar roles. This is a one. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and change this. I'm going to go for Military Intelligence over Jace's Ingenuity. It gets going faster, and I don't have to leave anything back. I don't have to leave back mana because I'm going to be wanting to use my mana, especially with like Roaring Primadox. I'm going to be casting a Frostlings or Shaman or Living Totem just about every turn. I'm going to be putting something down on the board if everything comes together. And now we just have one more cut to make. I might just cut my statue. It's kind of a clunky cut. I don't want to be holding back mana. That's what I was just saying. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull that back. I'm going to be using my mana pretty regularly. I'm going to be trying to keep myself tapped, which is not always the best. I'm going to be keeping it a little bit back, probably for like Peel from Reality. But I don't need to be keeping back 4 or 5 mana. That's just too much. Apart from that, I mean, I don't know if maybe I should have gone into red-green. There were a lot of good red cards, a lot of good green cards. I got a good number of green cards, and I'm pretty happy with our green here. I don't know how I feel about the blue right now. It's okay. Blue is not my favorite color of the format, and while I've had some good results with it, it is pretty hit or miss, because some matchups you just get run over, and some matchups, like, you grind them out to the very end, and it just happens to work. And I don't know if that's, having to do with the color itself, or if it's just the decks that I've put together. I don't know if I don't know how to use blue, maybe. There's a lot of things that could be going on with that, so it'll be interesting. Now, do I want to be using Court of Calling? We don't have any really good. I guess we do have some decent targets for it, but nothing that's really stands out. I don't have any like Hornet Nest. Hornet Nest and this card would be fantastic. That is the dream right there. You Court of Calling, for the 3, so you cast it for 6 while they're attacking, and if they have a big beater, like, whatever the 7/2 green card, I don't remember what it's called. But if they're attacking in with something like that, you Court of Calling in for a Hornet's Nest, drop it in front of it, and suddenly you have 7 1/1 flying Death Touchers, and that is a barrier that's really hard to get through. But I don't really have anything that I will need to surprise people with, like Frostlinks. I mean, okay, tapping something down as an instant and having it stay tapped down, I guess, is okay. And that'd probably be the only thing I use the Court of Calling for. And that could be nice, you know, but that's 6 cost. I don't have very many green creatures for Convoke until later. Maybe I'll take that out for my other Encrust and bring that back in. Or even better, just the Frostlinks. I mean, if I'm going to be getting the Frostlinks with that anyways, why not just bring in the Frostlinks to begin with, you know? Then I will have it, and because Frostlinks locks it down for an extra turn, like, I don't really need to do that as an instant. I mean, I like Court of Calling, it's just I don't have anything that I really need to use it for. Instant speed drawing a card for 7 mana. Instant speed +1/+1 counter. I mean, yeah, you're getting a body for a block, but really it's the enter the battlefield, or you know, if they have some specific utility for blocking. I mean, even if you're in green black, you can get like a 1/1 death touch blocker to throw in, to chump block with, just kill their big thing, you know. But in this deck, I don't really have anything like that. I don't have anything worth using it on, so I'm going to just go ahead and leave that out. And maybe, you know, in a certain matchup, I will need to bring it in, but I kind of doubt it. We'll see. So I think this is the deck that we're going to go with. Hopefully it'll do some work. I kind of like it. It's a little bit clunky, a little bit awkward. We have 16 creatures, though, not including like our Feral Incarnation. So let's add some lands and see where we go with it. 8 and 8 sounds great, actually. That I like the mana base of this land, or of this deck. So we'll add that in. And we have a really good curve on our creatures. Like, we are going to be able to get creatures out pretty regularly. I like this. I'm actually, the more I'm looking at it, the more I like this deck. I'm kind of removal light. Like, this is my removal suite. These 2 cards. We have our Frostlinks, and that's going to be doing some work, but not really removal. It's just kind of stalling. So we'll see how we do with it. I'm going to go ahead and submit this, and I will see you in the first round.